Okay, here we are back in the news, our weekly segment with Rick Mauch. It's Wednesday, April 14th. What do you got?
I don't know if anyone heard me cough just as we were going on the air, but that's not COVID, trust me. I have twice been vaccinated, and it wasn't Johnson & Johnson. So
You look healthy.
you know what? I feel good.
Good.
I feel good. Went to the doctor recently for just a routine checkup, and yeah.
Good.
I could probably lose a few pounds, but
Couldn't we all?
yeah. But I'm actually down below what I was last time. So the walking to work, yeah, I guess that helps. And,
Yeah, warmer weather's going to be nice. Golf.
I sure would like to golf a little bit more. I did get out a couple of weeks ago up in Denver and played a little par 3 course.
We're going to get you out on Prairie on the Pines.
I played it right after I moved here last year. Played 9 holes, and I tell you, the greens were immaculate.
They are. They do a good job. And, I mean, it's a fun course, especially if you're not good. Like, for me, I mean, I still enjoy it.
Well, I mean, what's, like Tina Turner said, what's good got to do with it?
Right. Trust me, you'll see someday what I'm talking about.
Not COVID. But yeah, I'm very anxious to get out and play some more golf. In fact, I'm supposed to be doing a golf article, and I guess I will do it since I'm supposed to be doing it.
For the paper?
And that's my job. We're putting out a magazine called Explore, and you and I have talked about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I'm going to be a part of that.
Yeah, you are. And a nice part of it, by the way. Thank you. But one of the things that they want me to do is do an article about golf courses on the plains and up in the northern part, and even on over to like the Goodland course. So obviously I won't get out and play all of them, but I will get out and probably play a handful of them between now and the time of the publication. Of course, local one.
Yeah, Stratton, Flagler.
Definitely going to play the one in Goodland. I've heard really good things about it.
Me too. I've never played it.
And I have played the one here, and I'll play it again because it's a good challenging course. And I'm supposed to go up to Brush, I think, and play that one. So more on that as time goes on. But I just wish don't get me wrong, I love the snow. I do. It's one of the reasons we moved here because it's so beautiful and what have you. But as my wife sits at home, my beautiful, lovely wife, who is a book editor and doesn't have to leave the house when it's 7 degrees and snow up to my forehead, while she's sitting there going, "Oh, this is so great. It's so beautiful. We have more snow." Some of us are going, yeah.
Yeah, enough of that. Well, it's good for the farmers, though. The moisture's good, but yeah.
Tired of.
I don't mind the snow or the rain. It's the wind. So I'm ready to get out of the windy season. I mean, that's been crazy, and just get to summer.
But the snow is beautiful. And coming from Texas, where we got snow, about as often as you see a dinosaur, it's nice. It's nice. But I'm ready to golf.
Yeah.
Okay, put the snow aside. Bring it back in October or November. But right now, it's time to golf.
Do barbecues, picnics.
Yes. And I'm not one to golf in the snow. I have golfed in 35-degree temperatures. I'll never do that again. But I have done it. So a lot of stuff in the paper this week, my friend.
Really? What do you got?
A lot of good
breaking
stuff
news. That's what I want on Wednesdays. Breaking news Wednesday.
Well, let's see. Well, now the website, we had a lot of breaking news today. First of all, Bernie Madoff died this morning. And
natural causes, or
did he
Epstein himself?
Did he Epstein? Oh, wow! You're gonna go there? Oh my gosh!
Hey, I'm just asking.
Wow!
That come on.
No, I think it was natural causes. Of course, you never know. I mean,
but he was getting old. He was getting up there. Because when he went in...
he was 82, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize he was that. So it probably was natural causes.
Yeah. So, you don't mess with people and their money, man.
Yeah. I don't even remember when that all went down.
A lot of things in this world, but you do not mess with people's money.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, wow. I read where the guy, I read where the guy bilked people out of something like 17 billion, but then he turned around and he told them that they were a part of 60 billion, which they were thinking they were going to get back. Of course, you know. I also did read where a lot of that money has been recovered, but man, think of the people that he got to. Kevin Bacon and Keir Sedgwick, Sandy Koufax, Steven Spielberg.
To get into that crowd.
Yeah,
but then think about all the people that put their life savings. They were just blue collar workers or middle class.
Yes.
Gone, wiped out.
It's believed to be the biggest fraud in Wall Street history. So, we had that breaking news this morning. And no longer was that on for like 3 hours. And then we got word just shortly, right before I came here, and we replaced the Madoff news with this. Kim Potter, the police officer up in Minnesota who shot Dante Wright, they have arrested her, and they're going to bring manslaughter charges against her. So,
it's not a good situation.
No, and I mean, who knows? We still have most of the day to go, so who knows what kind of breaking news will happen this afternoon.
Well, did you see that clip where Did you see that clip where it happened?
I still haven't. No,
because I saw it.
I've seen the riots and everything, but I haven't seen the clip.
To me, it looked like she was. It was female, right?
Yes.
The one that shot him. If I'm thinking of the right clip, it looked like she thought she was grabbing her taser, which is a horrible mistake.
Well, that is her defense. Yeah.
But if you see the clip, I mean, it's graphic. So anyone listening, it's definitely graphic.
Yeah.
But that is what it looked like. So, and I don't know if that's a defense, but that's for somebody else to decide.
I know this is a very hot topic around the country, and I wish we weren't. And I don't want to go off on a long trail down this subject, but I do want to say that I wish we could come to some agreement because much like guns, much like COVID, much like so many other things that are out in society now, it's become a with us or against us kind of thing. And it's not. It's not. Do we have bad cops? Of course we have bad cops. Do we have bad journalists? Of course we do. We've had people kicked out of the profession for stealing stories and what have you. Are there cops out there that are killing people? Yes, there are. We can't deny that. I mean, there have been too many circumstances. Does that mean that 98, 99% of police officers aren't still good?
No,
I think they are.
I agree.
What I would like to see more of is if you know a bad cop and you don't report them, you get in trouble. Plain and simple. If you know somebody is, if you know somebody has done something, or if you suspect they might, and you keep silent.
Yeah, well, that's a problem, and that's why there needs to be reform.
Yes,
because there has to be accountability, and there's supposed to be mechanisms within that organizational structure to prevent that.
There has to be accountability. So, I read this morning where a police officer who stopped another police officer from choking a suspect, he broke the chokehold. He was fired. And I'm sorry. I mean, I just think that's the wrong reaction. He was trying to keep his partner, from what I understand in the story, he was trying to keep his partner from possibly pulling another Derek Chauvin. And then he gets punished. Now, a judge reinstated him, which is good. Things like that are good to hear. And the fact that he stepped in and said, hey, yeah, maybe we're going to arrest this guy, but we don't have to try and kill him.
Yeah. Well, I think
we need more of that.
No, and I agree. And maybe at some point we can sit down and you and I can have a longer podcast to talk about these type of issues, because we fall on the opposite sides a lot of time, but we can have a civil conversation.
Absolutely.
And, because they're nuanced. Even the Derek, and I don't want to get into it today, but even that case, there are different camera angles that show different things. There were different things in his system. And I'm not defending, but there's always nuances. And the 98% of those police, I mean, think how hard that job is. And it's only becoming harder.
It is a hard job. I mean, and the vast majority of police officers are in it for the right reason. They're in it to protect and serve. You just need to, but part of that protecting and serving and getting the bad guys includes getting bad guys who might be working alongside them.
Well, that happens in organizations. Yeah.
I knew a magazine editor in Texas, and she is, I don't want to give anything away, so I won't, because I don't want to be sued or anything, but was not a fan of her style. She would, every day online, she would run a list of people who'd been arrested the night before or the day before, what have you. And she'd run their pictures. And by the way, Digital News Media, which owns the Burlington Record and a lot of others, we no longer run mugshots of many people who have been arrested. There are exceptions, obviously, like the King Soopers guy, if you arrest him on the spot. But, or, if you're a big name celebrity or somebody, but we backed off running mugshots. And what I'm getting at is, I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second, but what I'm getting at is there are people who, there are people in my own business who will do something that is questionable, do something that is that crosses a line, and we have to deal with that. Just like if you have a bad police officer on your staff, deal with it. I know what I was getting at. She had a contest, and one of the women in the contest got stopped for a DUI. And it was a very funny story, honestly. Sad, but funny. She got stopped for a DUI. She called her boss, who had been home drinking wine. He decided to come help her. Then he got arrested for a DUI.
Oh, crap.
So, yeah. So,
jeez, man, that's not good.
Now, if that had been anybody else except one of the people who was a contestant in her pageant, that would have been all over her website.
Gotcha.
She did not run that.
Yeah, that's bad. Well, and like I said, I want to sit down for a longer podcast because and then we'll get into the news because I have limited time today. But
that is
one thing I would say, I think that your industry and my industry and the coalescence between those two are the biggest problem we have right now. Media and journalism and IT and technology. Yeah. And I would love to talk about that.
Yeah.
I think it's a real problem. I think it's motivated by greed on both sides. And it's, look at what Charles Barkley said about a week ago. Do you remember that? You can look at, well, he was talking about good people, black people, white people, most are all good. And there's a vested interest in politicians and media to see those people fight each other. It's how they make money.
There is something to that. Yes, so, there is something to that.
But we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, but the vast majority of police officers, I do believe, are in it for the right reason. Like I said, I think probably 98% of them are in it for the right reasons. But that 98% has to deal with the 2% who are not.
Yep.
So,
agreed.
But what else? Continue to back the blue because most of them are just great guys.
They are,
and great ladies, and they're out there busting their tails to protect us. So
well said.
front page, the Attorney General was in town on Monday, and he was here to discuss the opioid crisis. Now, I don't know that we really have an opioid crisis here in Burlington and Kit Carson, but we do have a drug challenge here.
Oh yeah,
we do. We have meth is a big problem, as it is in a lot of communities this size, and so we talked about that.
Are you doing a write up on that?
Yeah,
very cool. Is that coming out tomorrow?
It is, and we have a. I immediately put an article on our website, but then I expanded it in the paper because I talked to Chief Hill, Raul Hudler. Now, Raul didn't actually comment about this. Raul, the Attorney General kind of went all over the map, but that's just. Have you ever been at one of those? Have you ever had one of those discussions where you thought you were coming to talk about one thing and you talked about 10 different things, but they were all good?
Yeah, is that what happened?
That's exactly what happened. Huh. The discussion, which included a variety of influential people from the community, as I said, Raul Hutter was there, Nate Hill was there, Randy Gordon was there, Jim Keeney. So it kind of went all over the map. Talked about everything from the state getting some money from the McKinsey and Company settlement, and then what, where we stand as far as internet in the community, affordable housing, what we can do for that. I mean, it went all over the place, but it was all good stuff.
You're going to put that in the article and kind of recap it? Nice.
It's
looking forward to that.
And
we should have live streamed that. I didn't even think about that. That was on a Monday at like 10, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a tough time.
Like 10:30, yeah. But yeah, the Attorney General it was great of him to come all the way down here. We don't get a lot of statewide politicians down this way much.
No.
I mean, Corey came by a few times, but he's from this area.
Yeah.
Yuma or
up at Yuma.
Yeah. But getting the governor, getting the Attorney General, you don't get a lot of those. So I whether you like the Attorney General or not, and just you pat him on the back at least.
Hey, at least he was out here.
Yeah. He was here. He came here. He sat down. He didn't just send one of his aides. He was here himself. So I think that says something. We have Burlington's own Alex Gribben. Has been featured in Pitt and Quarry magazine. He is the assistant aggregate production manager. Don't ask me what that is. Sounds fancy, though.
Yeah, it does.
At Bard Materials. And what they did is they replaced spreadsheets with an improved tracking and analysis system. And it cut down time, cut down the amount of work that goes into it.
Is he a software engineer or?
He's an assistant aggregate production manager.
Good answer.
Whatever that is.
That's it. So is there going to be an article about that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Alex is spotlighted in this week. Travis Belton is our new sheriff.
Correct.
As you know. And now this is something that hasn't come out. I mean, we've known for a week now that Travis was going to be the new sheriff. He's going to bring back Wick, the crime dog.
Okay.
And put him back to work. So that facet of the police force is going to be coming back, or the sheriff's department is going to be coming back. Named after John Wick, of course.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I assume. I mean, when I joked with Travis, I kind of got that impression. I love Travis's line. I said, "So what are you going to do with the crime dog?" He said, "Wick." He said, "He's going back to work." He said, "That's a $15,000 dog just sitting around the house."
Huh, interesting.
So, Dr. Hoppy was honored this past week. We have a photo of that. And it was Colorado Imaging Associates, I believe, are the ones who placed a bench outside the emergency room of the hospital. And speaking of that, the COVID report this week, it's from Dawn. It's still good.
I saw it earlier.
We're still in good shape. She does warn us to, and I think you and I talked about this, it's nice to be in good shape. It's nice to feel safe. But in order to stay safe, we have to be safe.
Be vigilant.
So as much as I love you, man, I'm not going to just jump over this table and hug you for a little while yet.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just, we have a lot to be proud of here.
Yeah.
Because we have this incredible status concerning COVID.
Well, and things are, things are going to be good this summer. If we can keep the numbers down, we've got multiple events at the park that we passed permits for with the chamber. I know that at the next city council meeting in a couple of weeks, there's going to be some breaking news.
Oh, good.
So you'll have to send somebody down there or something. There's some stuff coming up.
There's a sense of, I was just saying to someone the other day, there's a positive vibe in the air.
I agree.
That I don't think was there 6 or 8 months ago.
Well, it's going to be like the Roaring 20s. Only the Roaring 20s now.
Yeah.
You wait and see. It's going to be fun.
You just feel, people are getting vaccinated. People are, we're at this status where we feel good, and it just feels nice to be able to go out to like a chamber mixer, or the high school is putting on a theater production this weekend. It just feels nice to be able to go out and be among people again.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
And then continuing on, Prairie Family Center, we have a story on the front page about this, and I think we touched upon this last week. This is Child Abuse Awareness Month.
Oh, okay.
So look for pinwheels around town as a symbol of that. And more important, look for, hopefully there are no children being abused locally. But if you suspect, or if you know, please contact someone.
Say something.
Yeah. I spent 4 years in the early to mid 90s working in a children's home in Texas, and doing PR for a home for abused and neglected kids. And I can tell you that there's just so many circumstances where we think everything's okay, but it's not. So, and I don't want to make anybody paranoid about what your neighbor may or may not be doing, but just
keep your eyes open, because those kids don't have anyone else. So I agree.
Keep your eyes open. Yeah. Yep. Just because if you think something is suspicious, and it involves a kid, then yeah. Sports, Stratton Liberty Volleyball is up to number 3 in the state this week. They could host a regional.
Cool.
They went to 9-0 last night. First time all season they've been pushed to 5 games in a match, but it was at Genoa Hugo, and which itself is ranked number 14 in the state in Class A. Stratton Liberty has a great volleyball team this year. Like I said, first time all season they've had to go 5 games. They came from behind to win it in the 5th game, and they have beaten. They're 9-0, and 4 of their wins have come against other state-ranked teams, and 3 of those have been on the road.
Geez, they are good.
They are good.
Well, congratulations to them. I hope they keep on going.
And then, we have Idalia is on the cusp of possibly getting to the playoffs. To see what happens there. But Stratton Liberty is pretty much a lock for the playoffs, and they could very well host a regional. Other things to look for this week. Speaking of Stratton, a great photo feature page that Courtney put together of their homecoming.
Cool.
We have some pictures, results from the Pinewood Derby.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thanks to you.
That was awesome. I'm glad you guys got those. It was a great time.
A couple of columns that folks might be interested in. My column is I actually got it from after talking to seeing Rawls' economic development report. And again, you don't want to give too much away in columns, but because I do want you to read them. But pay people to come to Burlington.
Yeah, well, it's
is
part of
that a crazy idea?
No, and part of the breaking news in a couple weeks. There's stuff moving.
Yeah,
and shaking. There's things coming.
I mean, if we've got great things here, and if it means, offering an incentive to get people to move here, I'm for it. I've seen cities waste money on worse things.
No, and so. I think that we're continuing to try to find ways to make it opportunistic and make it favorable for businesses to come here. Find ways to help them.
And it's a follow the leader business. It's a follow the leader industry. You get that one or two businesses here, more will come. So I think the future. Well, I have said before, I think Burlington could bill itself as a diamond on the plains.
I like that.
We just have to get,
let's keep getting the word out. It's a really great place to live.
We have to get the word out. This is a great place to especially if you're a work from home person. So I like the possibility of the future of Burlington. Joy Hudler has a really good column this week about COVID and vaccines and what have you. Joy always has a good column, though.
Hers are funny.
She's funny. And then we talked about the website and some other things I would like for people to look for, both on the website and in the paper. We mentioned Prairie Family Center. I do have a feature coming up on them in the coming weeks, and then on after that, I have another thing coming from them once they get more details. But we could have a community garden on the way.
Yeah, well, and we're always on the same page because I talked to Dina yesterday, and she's going to come sit down and do a podcast about their 4 or 5 big events. And we're always complimenting each other, so it's good.
I love community gardens, and so does my wife, so we would be very active in that. Take our online poll. It's always something interesting. And this week it's, what do you think about the NFL adding a 17th game? And your choices are, you like it, you don't like it, you don't watch the NFL. So go on, check it out. Send us stories. We are always looking for story ideas. Now, the natural scheme of things, we're going to get the city council stories. We're going to get the stories from events and things like that. We want human interest stories. We want to know, hey, if your neighbor's doing something, if you're doing something, and it's a little bit unique or out of the ordinary, or you overcame a hardship, or you've accomplished something great, let us know.
Yeah.
We do a lot of great things at the Burlington Record, but we can't read minds. So send us those ideas. And if you're out and about, take a photo, send it to us. I was up in the mountains this past weekend and took several photos. Take videos. We want the community to be a part of what we're doing at the Burlington Record. And now that we've enhanced the website, we can turn those things around quickly. You send us a photo this afternoon, we can have it on the website.
You want to throw that out one more time?
Yeah, send us.
The website?
Yeah, it actually is on the website as well. But just send them to, you can send them to me, rmauch@prairiemountainmedia.com. Any story ideas you have, any photos, any videos. Now, I can't guarantee that every single story idea is going to work out. I can't guarantee that every single video or photo will get posted, but I can guarantee if you don't send it, it won't.
Right, fair enough.
That's the only thing I can guarantee. And I want to push the alumni watch that I'm hoping to get started. And it's very simple. It's if you played a sport at one of the local schools, Burlington, Stratton, Liberty, Idalia, High Plains, and Bethune, and we'll throw Flagler in there as well, although Flagler does have its own publication. Well, Stratton Liberty does too, but we'll throw
Promote
Flagler in.
Sure.
We work well with those. So all we need to know is when they graduated the high school, where they're going to college, and what sport. We will look up the rest. We'll look up the stats. We'll look up, anything their coach has to say. But I did this back in Texas, and it was very popular. It took a little while to build up, but once we got it built up, it fed itself, and very, very popular. And these kids,
cool.
They people here at home, we want to know how they're doing.
Yeah, they deserve recognition. They're great stories.
Yeah. So that's
cool.
That's what's going on at the Burlington Record.
Well, I appreciate it. Another episode of In the News.
Yep.
Thanks for stopping by.
A lot of stuff going on. Buy the paper, read the website, And just because you see something on the website, don't think, oh, I don't need to get the paper. Yes, you do, because often, again, I go back to the Attorney General story, often what you see on the website is only part of the story.
Gotcha.
Things happen between something happening on a Monday and then it goes into print on Thursday.
Okay. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Another segment of In the News with Rick Mauch.
My pleasure.
All right, have a good day.